Everybody, it's Romania Black, and we are on volume 12 of Attack on Titan's manga. And I had not looked at the cover until just now when I got the manga. And so we're finishing up season 2 today. Like, what? I'm kind of floored that we're already to the end of season 2 based on this cover. Because, yeah, the stuff that's happening in this cover points to Scream, which is, I guess that shouldn't be surprising because where we last left off at was pretty much like into episodes 9 and episodes 10, kind of in between. So this volume would basically cover like 3 episodes essentially. That's so wild to me. That's so wild. I'm like, wait a minute, what? So crazy talk, right? But there is something I wanted to point out, and I didn't talk about it in the last reaction because it didn't really hit me until I was going back and looking at comments and getting ready for this reaction, was that we didn't get Ymir's backstory. We did not get Ymir's backstory in volume 11, which is interesting because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, that the episode Children went back and told us Ymir's backstory. So I don't want to know. I don't want to know yet. I want to be surprised when we maybe find out if her backstory is included in here or if they're saving it for the stuff of season 3. I've been trying to avoid spoilers as best as I could, but people came out of the woodwork and they kept saying, oh, season 3 has a lot of changes in the manga, and I was like, la 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 la. I was like, don't tell me, let me find out for myself, please. So I don't know if that's the case, if they moved Ymir's stuff to season 3 because with the manga, because really honestly the end of season 3 is the last time we see Ymir because, spoiler alert, she dies. So I was like, so I don't know what the case is. I'm like, I'm not sure if that's how it works or what the deal is, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen, but I don't know. So I'm very curious, right? I'm very, very curious. But I do have some comments before we dive into volume 12. I'm really excited because volume 12, like Charge and Scream, I mean, Warrior is one of my favorite episodes of the entire series, but Charge and Scream are arguably 2 of my favorites from season 2. I love Charge. Episode 11 is just, it's so good. It's my jam. Like the stuff, the talking between all of them on top of Ymir, all of that jazz, like the stuff between Bertolt and Mikasa looking at each other. I can't wait to see that in the manga form. Like the stuff that happens in Charge is so great. Like I like the epicness of Scream, and I see the thematic, symbolic importance of Scream. But Charge is one of those like underrated gems. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't get enough recognition, doesn't get enough praise in comparison. I think Scream overshadows in a lot of ways, and it's fine. It's a good season finale. It's a great episode, but Charge just does it for me. And I can't, maybe when we read the manga, it will sink in why. And I'm hopeful that that will be the case and we can talk about it. But real quick, just wanted to bring up for everyone these comments that I have been given on both YouTube and Patreon. Viper Leone Navarre talked about how the Sasha moment with Eren and Mikasa, where we were going back to talk about how Sasha is told to hide her accent, and it's from volume 9 essentially, and volume 10, where Ymir and Historia have that argument of whether or not Sasha should hide her accent. And apparently there was a moment where Sasha's drawing water out of the well that happens around the same time as that moment with Historia and Ymir that happens with Eren and Mikasa when they're talking about whether or not to be a soldier. And so Sasha's kind of present for both parties in the manga, and in the anime she's not. So I thought that was really cool to point out. And also, it didn't dawn on me, Viper Leone, until you pointed this out, but yeah, in the anime, right after Sasha and her dad meet up again, we see Sasha deliver a report to Hanji that gives some exposition with Pastor Nick, and that leads Pastor Nick to talking about Historia, right? We get that in the anime, but logically that doesn't make sense. And it didn't dawn on me until Viper Leone pointed this out, being like, Sasha was at home with her dad, so then suddenly she went back to Hanji and then went back to Walsina. Like, how does that, logistically add up? That doesn't make sense with how much time and travel it would take. And I was like, oh my God, yeah. No, in the anime, I think things were just happening so quickly and crazy that it did not dawn on me that I was like, wait, how does that add up math-wise with travel time, right? And geography is my worst subject of all subjects in school, so geography is my worst. So it didn't dawn on me like the distance that would be involved. But yeah, in the manga that doesn't happen. So I'm still curious why, and Viper Leone talked about it in their comment. I'd have to go back and relook at it, but I'm still curious why they did that. I'm like, that doesn't make sense, but for whatever reason, I'm like, okay, that was added in with the anime. Lots of Sasha moments added in the anime, which is interesting to me, or left out. Xavier Student, or Stewart, Xavier Stewart. A lot of comments were talking about Mike and Mike's death in Volume 10 and Volume 9. Ah, man, I guess it would be Volume 9 when Mike dies, and it's so heartbreaking. But Xavier points out this really interesting thing about, like, if Mike had still been around the time Season 4 happened, he could have sniffed out maybe Titan presence in the wine, could have stopped Zeke's whole rebellion and all of that. And I kind of commented back to Xavier being like, yeah, I think that's the point. I feel like Sasha was always going to be a symbolic death. I feel like Isayama, when he was originally going to have Sasha killed off, he rethought it and was like, oh, I could use her actually since she's tied to Mr. Browse and he's a crux of the entire message of the entire series. He's like, I can use her later on as a plot point, so I'm just going to wait on her. So I feel like Isayama made that choice to spare her because he knew he could use her later on as a symbolic importance. But with Mike is kind of like, I'm going to say a Death Note spoiler for the next 10 seconds, so just skip 10 seconds ahead if you don't want to hear a Death Note spoiler. Mike is the Naomi of Attack on Titan, right? He is, because end of Death Note spoilers, Mike, his whole thing is like, yeah, he has an ability that would be really useful later on in the story. And I think Isayama, once he realized that, was like, well, shit, I'm going to have to write him out of the story. Otherwise, it's not going to make sense for him to be there and not have detected all this Titan presence. Right? So I feel like Isayama, even though Mike is such a cool character, I feel like, one, Isayama was like, crap, I need to get rid of him, and just having him off to the side makes no sense because he's one of the upper echelon of the Survey Corps. Why would he be off to the side? So that doesn't make sense. So he had to kill him off for that reason. And also, I do feel like Isayama makes a point in the series as a whole to tell us, the audience, nobody is safe. No one is, just because you're a main character or a powerful character or you're an interesting character, especially the latter, just because you're interesting doesn't mean you're safe. Because a lot of times mangaka will keep characters in the series because they're like, oh, they're such an interesting character. And Isayama was like, yeah, they're cool, interesting, glad you like them. Bye. Like that, right? So I thought that was a really cool comment. But it's such a shame, right? Because Mike could have been such an important character later on. But Isayama's like, I got a story to tell, and I can't have no OP characters. It's like one of the reasons he writes Levi out so much. Levi gets like beaten to a pulp half this series because otherwise the story would be over, right? If Levi wasn't injured like he was, we'd have no story. So Isayama's just like, the curse of the OP character. What do I do with them? And mangaka, I mean, storytellers all throughout the history of narratives, when you have a character that is OP, it is so similar and true in many different series. When you have an OP character, a narrator or a writer has to be like, okay, what do I do with this character? They could clearly solve the problem, so I've got to do something with them to get them out so that the other characters can solve it instead. And they find creative ways. The good ones will find creative ways to get them out of the way. And so I feel like Isayama, it just makes Levi a punching bag. That's his solution. It works! And then finally, Alexander Q talked about, I do remember, they talked about the Attack on Titan world being a mirror of our own. And I remember around this time in the anime, somebody was pointing out on the map, I think it's when Marley is introduced, they were pointing out on the map that the world of Attack on Titan is an inverse of ours. Like the map is an inverse, right? And so I thought that was really interesting. Like where Parody is basically a flipped version of Madagascar, essentially. And so I thought that was really interesting. But that's all I had been told. I'd just been told that it was a flip world. That was pretty much it. But Alexander Q points out that the sun in Attack on Titan rises in the west instead of the east. And also that during an interview, Isayama said that Parody's writing is actually katana that is flipped or reversed through a mirror, which is why it looks kind of familiar, but it looks distinctly different, which is so intriguing. And also that you read Parody from left to right, like you would Japanese, but you read Marley from right to left. And I was like, oh, which is a very like European thing. So yeah, I was like, okay, cool. Like that it is distinctly different. I think that's interesting. I like it. So yeah, those are my comments I'm really excited about what we're getting into with this volume. I'm so intrigued, so ready to see it. I can't wait. But yeah, I can't believe we're getting. I thought we'd at least have 2 more volumes. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought there'd be 2 more volumes. I thought it would be this volume, and then we'd finish season 2's content in volume 13. But no, Isayama's like, we're so honestly. Was there 34 volumes in this series? 34 volumes and 24, 22. So we have all of season 3 and season 4 content is going to be in 22 volumes. Which I guess makes sense, right? It's just season 2 went by so quickly. Season 2 was literally 3 volumes worth of things. It was literally 9, 10, 11, 12. I guess it's 4 volumes, but season 2 was just 4 volumes of content. And season 1 was 8 volumes. Wow. So yeah, so season 1 was 8 volumes. Season 4 was 4 volumes. So we have 22 volumes to get through season 3 and season 4, which season 4 is very long, I'm sure. So that's just like, oh my God, season 4 has so much stuff. There's so much exposition. So, oh my God. Okay. I'm just now realizing, I'm like, oh shit, we just got through 2 seasons and 12 volumes, and we still have 2 more seasons and 22 volumes to go. There's going to be a lot of content. Oh, okay. That just hit me, y'all, like in a wave. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Sure. So yeah, I am excited, y'all. I'm ready. I don't know. I mean, I know what to expect, but I'm curious to see what's going to change, if anything, and if we're going to get Ymir's backstory in this volume. If we don't, then that means they're saving it for volume 3. So I'm very curious about that. But let's not waste any more time, shall we? We are going to start volume 12 of Attack on Titan's manga, and we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1. And let's do this. Yeah, look at this cover. This cover pretty much told me like, oh, okay, we're getting Scream. Because there's Eren doing the defiant pose with Mikasa in his arms. What I like about this cover is 2 things. One, you have Eren and Historia facing opposite directions, but their potential love interests / love interests are both facing the same way, towards the rising sun. I love that. Or towards the setting sun, however you want to look at it, right? I like that. I like that distinction, right? You have Eren and Historia looking different ways, but Ymir and Mikasa are looking the same way. Very cool. I like the composition elements of that. And then you have the clouds coming up around them like a cape over Ymir's back. It's nice. The other thing I like about this is since we're getting since we're finishing off season 2, episode 12 in this volume, presumably, that you don't see Dina anywhere. You don't see Dinah a single place, or Hannes. It's a nice little lack of foreshadowing or spoilers there, because you don't know it's coming unless you've read the chapters ahead of time. So that's a fun thing. Yeah, children. Okay, so this volume has children in it. Okay, so presumably Ymir's backstory is in this volume. Awesome. Children. Someone. Charge! Yes. And Scream. Oh my God. Oh, this volume! There's gonna be so much in this volume! Oh my God! Yes! Alright, let's do this. Ymir. Okay, good. I was just like, where is Ymir's backstory? But here we go. She's got her hand growing back. Yeah, and of course Eren's pissed off at Ymir, right? Oh, we don't have the character pages. Interesting. Alright. Yep, she's ignoring everything I say, and I didn't learn anything. Yeah, it's what's really sad is Eren's not going to learn anything at all until it's literally forced upon him, right? Children. Yep, our Titan is small, but it was fast. She really is the one that ate Marcel. Yeah. Oh my God, Reiner's little arms as he's like running fast. Oh my God. I forget constantly, like, I'm savoring these moments. We've been talking in the Discord. I'm savoring these moments where Reiner, not Ryan, that'd be like his English Netflix name. I forget I forget that we can still savor the moments where Reiner is not a pincushion for Isayama. Later on, when Isayama's like, he's one of my favorite characters, and he's like going through hell, we'll be like, oh, really? Yep. She finally became human again. She wanted to wander, thinking only of her own survival until she met Krista. Ooh, Reiner's pretty perceptive. She found someone she valued more than herself. Someone so dear she'd jump into a swarm of titans for her. Yeah. Yeah, and then Reiner's like, I'm still in warrior mode, don't worry. But I have reasons for wanting to bring Krista with us more than just her being cute. I like that Reiner, our bisexual king, is alongside John. Reiner is just like, yeah, no, I want to bring her with us, not just because she's cute, but because, yeah, the guys who tailed, yeah, and Annie found out that Krista is an important figure in a Wallace family. Uh-huh. If the coordinate we're looking for isn't Aaron himself, our mission isn't over yet. And this is the first time we bring up the coordinate. Yes, nice. That's so well done there, because when they say if the coordinate we're looking for, like, it just sounds like a position or something. It doesn't seem like it's a specific type of Titan or anything like that. Yeah, I just love that Isayama just casually drops like, oh yeah, here's the thing we're looking for. And it's like, in the moment, you're just like, what's that? And then later on, you're like, oh my God. Like, it all just hits at once. I say Reiner's bisexual. I'm joking. The fandom has really gotten me onto the Reiner Aaron ship just because it's like self-loathing times self-loathing. But honestly, I never got the Reiner Bertolt ship, if I'm being honest. I remember people early on in the anime were like, Reiner and Bertolt. And I was like, I never saw it. I mean, once we get the idea of Bertolt and Annie, I was like, oh yeah, Bertolt and Annie for sure. But I never got Reiner and Bertolt as a romantic ship. And I'm a big shipper, but it just never struck me as romantic. It always was like bro and bro. And Reiner, honestly, I just want to ship Reiner with happiness more than anything. But I did ship Reiner and his blondes. I was shipping Reiner and Annie, which everybody was like, and then when you find out later, you're like, why that face was made. But Reiner and Historia for a while, because I was like, oh, I just want, Reiner thinks that she's cute. That's nice. But yeah, if Reiner's into guys, we don't know that. I feel like Reiner's just wanting to get out of this with a sense of dignity. Let's put an end to this. We'll be able to bring Annie, Krista, and that back to our hometown. That being the coordinate, right? I like that they put it in bold so that you know it's there. And of course, Bertolt says we'll bring Annie, Krista, and them back. Like, he puts Annie first, right? Be the last time we ever come here, and our duties will be complete. I love that, just that face between them being like, we've been through hell in a handbasket. Let's get out of here, and then we can go back home and we won't have to do any more. But there's almost a look of doubt between them, because when we find out later what the goal was to secure parity for them to basically destroy. I'm like, you both realize you're probably coming back. Like, even if they had succeeded in this mission, even if they'd done everything they said they were going to, would the Marley government have sent them back to conquer parity? Probably. So it's like, even though you say you're going back, you know your duties aren't going to be complete. That's it. Tell Annie how you feel once we get to our hometown. I love Bertolt's little face. Oh, tell her what? You stare at her too much. Enough that anyone paying attention would notice. Uh-huh. Who cares? You're both murderers with little time left. Who else but one of us could understand the situation we're in? With little time left. Yeah, that puts a whole nother perspective on it when you find out that they can only live so long after becoming Titan shifters. It's like, yeah, y'all, just have your moments of passion while you can, because otherwise you only have so much time left. Make the most of it, right? And then there's the flares. Yep. Okay. I didn't think they'd be able to act so damn quickly. Well, Erwin is with them, and Erwin does not. He is no slouch. Erwin's like, we're going to get shit done right now. Yep, a tough bunch. And that's when he shows up in front of Aaron. It's really weird to see Aaron like so much shorter than Reiner, because by the time he's fully grown, they're about the same. Don't be stupid and put up a fight. Aaron is the worst actor. And that's so, here's the thing. Aaron's a great actor in season 4 because he doesn't act. He's just apathetic and despairing. There's like no acting there. He literally feels like he's in hell. He doesn't have to act. But when Aaron tries to act here, it's ridiculous. He's just like, oh, just waving his nubs around. Look at the state I'm in. And then he tries to fight him, and he's like, just die. I'm like, Reiner, Aaron, come on. Aaron just waving his nubs around saying he's gonna effing kill Reiner is such a contrast to Declaration of War, isn't it? Such a contrast. And Ymir's like, why are we going? And then, yes, this is it. Yes. Okay, good. My memory, I was like, are we really going to skip Ymir's backstory? But no. Do you remember who you ate? I was around 5 years ago. Was it a friend of yours? I can't even recall it. There's nothing you can do if you don't remember. It was the same with us. Like they don't remember. And that's kind of a smart thing on Isayama's part, is because I'm sure there would be the endless questions of who ate who, like who was the Colossal Titan before Bertold, who was the Armor Titan before Reiner, all of this. And Isayama is telling us in this one moment, like Marcel's going to be important later on because of Porco, and Reiner obviously, but I like that Isayama is saying, you don't need to know who they ate. That is not relevant. The point is now that they are here, who's going to end up eating them, if anyone, right? That's the important thing. That's what ends up being important. And honestly, the Jaw Titan ends up being like one of the most important figures in this whole thing, is in terms of lineage, right? Eren doesn't seem to remember either, and that's just how it works. Do you still hate me for it? Oh, as he's looking. I'm sure you didn't want to eat anyone either. How long were you wandering outside the walls? 60 years. It was like having a nightmare that wouldn't end. Oh, that just again, Isayama, like you would expect a shonen manga to have like this big one total spread. Like I'm thinking of Kubo. I'm thinking of Kubo and Bleach, right? Because I love Bleach. I do. And I love Kubo. He's ridiculous. But he would make these big giant shonen panels where it'd be like a full page of just like Ymir's face with the word bubble, 60 years. And like this looking right into the camera. And you'd be like, oh my gosh, like that'd be the end of a chapter. It'd be like such a big deal, right? It'd be a big ordeal, made the most fanfare. And here Isayama just slides it in and is like, oh yeah, 60 years. Like it's nothing. And you're like, wait, what? What? She still looks like she's 20? What? Like, great. Okay. So we don't have it with her. Interesting. Okay. A nightmare that wouldn't end. And we don't see her point. We don't see her past yet. Interesting. Interesting, Ymir. Maybe it's going to come later, or maybe it's not. Why didn't we wait till night? This is all because Eren got violent. I love that, as Reiner has her strapped to her back, right? And then she's like, Krista's there. She's come with them. She's like, we've got to grab them. I love the chaos of this. Man, no. The chaos of this scene was so good. And Ymir was just like, she's like, I'll be that crazy bitch if you want me to. And Bertolt and Reiner are like, oh my God. Like, just, I love it. She's gonna come rescue me. I can't trust you. Then prove it to me now. I want to see her. At this rate, I'll never see her again. Now that we don't even know if we can escape safely ourselves. Oh. If there's one person to free from the conflict, it's going to be Krista. We'll save her. Oh, and she's just looking at her smiling. I'm the strongest one in this terrain. I love that Ymir's thinking about how to approach it, where she's like, I'm the one that can help us with this. Yep. And then, yeah, this part! I'm able to dominate this area, don't you think? And he's like, stop, we'll fall. That's fine with me. My Titan's not as strong as yours, but I can move through the trees quickly. I could probably even steal Eren from you and go back to the Survey Corps. I love it. I love that Ymir's like, don't mess with crazy. I'll get crazy. I don't trust either of you. I'm just helping you because of Krista, but I will turn head on you with no thoughts. If you don't take Krista with you right now, I'll make a nuisance of myself here. I love the writer's like, why? She's like, I'm fine with it. If it means taking away Krista's future, I want to survive and see her again. As a person, I'm lower than shit. But she doesn't know that, and she smiles kindly at me anyway. You two don't know what that's like, do you? She's like, don't get mad. I love this! Oh, Ymir, get it, girl! I've thought this through. If I fight here, it'll make it easier for you to escape. Or do you want us to kill each other instead? You think I'm nuts? Try me and find out! Oh my God! That panel of her to Bertolt's like, what have I done to deserve all of this? Bertolt has to deal with Reiner being ridiculous. He has to deal with Mikasa getting in his face here in about, 3 chapters. He has to deal with Ymir getting ridiculous. Bertolt's like, I don't know why I'm suffering like this. Oh my god, I freaking love it. I love Ymir just being like, I'm that boss bitch and I'm gonna do what I want. I love it. I miss Ymir so much. I miss her. And then, yep. And then a flash. Yeah, there we go. From inside the forest. To find Eren and recover him. Oh my god. Oh, that's so awful. Oh, that's awful. Just grabbing people. And then there's Hannes. Yes. Find the enemy and notify the other units. Oh my god. Where are you? Oh, so I guess maybe we're not getting Ymir's backstory this volume. Interesting. And then there's, yeah, this is Ymir. Yeah, and Connie and them know. She's one of the ones they took as her Titan form. Hey, Ymir, why are you by yourself? Where's Eren? What about Reiner and Bertolt? She's like avoiding him. I do appreciate that Connie is instantly like, Connie's like, hey, Ymir, like just out of nowhere, like, right? Like 10 volumes ago, right? We were absolutely terrified of Titans and thinking there was no reaching them, but we're already at that stage where we're talking to Titans and communicating with them, and it's so interesting. And Mikas is trying to figure out, why did she transform into a Titan? Good. And then they're like, hey, ugly, I like that Connie just kicks her. Like what? Connie just kicking her, and she doesn't attack Connie, right? I think that is a distinction between Ymir and Annie, because Annie did spare Armin, right? But Annie had no qualms with anybody else just pecking off and killing, right? But then again, those Survey Corps members she did kill were not her close friends, like Armin and etc. in group. And I love that Armin's like, why are you looking around at each of us? Like she's looking for Historia. Yeah! Historia's like, huh? Isyama, yes. But we all know that she's not killing Historia. She's running off with her. Like, she just ate Krista, and then Jean's like, go after her! Yeah. And then that's when Armin's like, she just lured us in. Yeah, Armin figured it out, right? And then that's when Reiner cut the hand so they could go. And Bertolt has Eren without his arms. There we go. Oh, I love the action shots here. This is great. This looks wonderful. And then Ymir comes in there and like hops on. It's so weird that Ymir looks like a little old man when they like hop on Reiner, like with the hair, like the receding hairline and everything. Just looks like a little old man hopping up on there. Interesting. And then they're getting away with Eren. There they be. There they be. Now there it looks like Eren's arms have grown back. They're just tied around his back. Interesting. Interesting. And then Hannes is like, don't stop. We'll follow him on horseback. Hannes, even if it costs me my life, we've got to get Eren back. Hannes, characters don't say that even if it costs your life, because then chances are it is going to cost your life. Don't do that. All right, someone. Oh, is this someone hear us? Is this what it's talking about? All right, and then they follow that way. Erwin, you devil, are you trying to use us as bait again? Not my intention. The garrison's fighting well. Do your duty as soldiers. They're carrying Eren away. We have to stop it. I think that's interesting because even the Survey Corps is onto the fact that Erwin is willing to, by no means, he has no qualms with sacrificing people to get his end goal. He has no qualms with that whatsoever, as long as it helps him meet his objective. But here, Erwin's like, no, this is just a coincidence. We need to get Eren. It just so happens the Titans are following us out of the forest. Just came with it, right? They're going too fast. And Mikasa is like, I'm going to kill them. Oh my god. Mikasa! And that includes Ymir if she gets in our way. I don't care what it takes. I'll kill them all. Honestly, and Armin's just sitting there being like, damn, Mikasa and Eren are like exactly the same. Honestly, what's interesting that so far in the manga, from what we've seen, is that on the surface, when the anime was going on, we didn't get nearly as much content with Mikasa, so it became harder to try to discern what Mikasa... In the anime, it makes it feel like Mikasa is just like, Eren, 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 and like a damsel, like not a damsel in distress, but is just like fawning over him the whole time. But in the manga, it becomes very clear that Mikasa and Eren are very similar, actually. Quite similar in the fact that they both are willing to literally kill people and go to the extreme to protect the people that they care about. The difference between Mikasa and Eren is that Mikasa is very open in a way. She doesn't want to vocally admit that she likes Eren the way that she likes Eren, but she is much more emotional in emoting that care she has for others. Whereas Eren is very closed off, very private about those feelings, and Mikasa just like, they just exude out of her. The thing that she's not good at is vocalizing specifically who she cares for, which is kind of funny because then on the train, Eren's like, you guys are the ones I care for. So it's an interesting compare and contrast between Mikasa and Eren, but they're a lot more alike than they seem, which is, and Armin's just sitting there like, why am I friends with y'all? But yeah, and then she spits out Historia. Krista. Oh, I like that shot. Okay, so Eren's knocked out. Makes sense. They knocked Eren out still. But I love that shot of the eye of the Titan looking at the eye of Historia. Man. And then Ymir, and then she comes back out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Historia, I'm sorry. I ate you out of nowhere. You must be mad, right? And the thing about it is Bertolt looking over to Ymir and Historia, like wondering what this dialogue is going to be between them and wondering how Historia is going to react. And Historia doesn't seem mad. She's just like, hey, we're here to rescue you and Eren. And she's like, we don't need you to rescue me. She's like, come with me. There's no future inside the walls. It's not so bad outside the walls. There's no one out here. No one who will say it'd be better if you'd never been born. Mm-hmm. And then Historia's like, I wouldn't expect Titans to tell me something like that. They'd be too busy trying to eat me. And Ymir's like, we all have shortcomings, all right? They're not so bad if you can ignore that stuff. If you can ignore the whole eating you thing, it's not that bad. Get rid of the cannibalism and it's okay. She's like, it doesn't make sense. Did Reiner and Bertolt force you to do that? And Reiner and Bertolt are like, well, it's the other way around. They actually forced us to come back to get you. She's like, I'll fight together with you. So just let go. I don't care about your reasons or your secrets. No matter what happens, I'm on your side. And I do love that. I love that Historia's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't get any of this. But she's like, I'm going to fight with you because I love you. Right? She's like, I don't care about your past. And the way that Isayama draws Ymir's face and her expression being so pained, like the idea that someone could care about them so much is just, And so then Bertolt is realizing like, oh shit, if we don't say something, Ymir is very likely to take Krista and go back to the Survey Corps. He's like, I need to do something to try to keep this from happening. So he's like, if we hadn't stopped, we couldn't have gotten away faster. Now they're going to catch us because we got reckless and brought Krista along. And then he's like, why, Ymir? What did we go to all these links for? Have you changed your mind and decided to stay inside the wall with Krista? Well, Ymir. And Krista's like, let go. And she's like, I can't. And then, God, Isayama, the way he draws her, the way he draws Ymir, I love the pain and the expression he gives to Ymir, like that sorrow and pain and love, like it's all there, like all over her face. Like that line where she says, Historia, I snatched you to save myself. Oh, okay. And then are we getting the backstory? Maybe a long time ago, I stole the Titan power from one of their people. Their power is absolute. Inside or outside the wall, there's nowhere for me to run. At this rate, I'm going to be killed. So she knew. She was like, she already knew that she was going to die. If I help you in handing over to them, these two said they'd speak on my behalf to get my crimes pardoned. Now, you know that's not going to happen. You know that wasn't going to happen. They were going to kill her anyway. It's because you're so important to the Wallace who know the secrets of the wall. Which I'm like, they know the secrets of the wall? Isayama, give us more with that. You better do that in season 3. But yeah, he's like, you're the mistress's daughter. And Historia is realizing that Ymir knows her importance. Back when the world changed, I thought that being with you would be insurance for the near future. I almost died fighting the tower and I couldn't take it anymore. I was scared of dying and I wanted someone to save me somehow. And I lied and was told I was doing this for you, but it's for my own sake. I'm begging you, Historia, please save me. Oh. Oh my God. Like, Ymir's like, I'm so conflicted. She's like, I don't know what to think, but all I know is that I just want someone to save me and I want it to be you. And then, that face of Historia where she's like, no matter what happens, I'm on your side. Isayama, how dare you? How dare you give us this ship? How dare you make them that perfect? Meanwhile, Aaron's waking up. He missed all of that. I love that all these moments, here's the thing, all these moments of love and relationships and companionship and the idea of people sacrificing for others and what that love means. Aaron misses every conversation. He misses every single time. And I'm just like, doesn't fail to miss. And then there we go. And then Hannes. Oh my God, yeah. And then Aaron's seeing Bertolt holding him and seeing Hannes coming up for him. And of course, Aaron be freaked out about that, right? Oh. And that guy get knocked down. Was that Hannes that got knocked down? Oh, there's Mikasa! Oh, shit! Oh my God, Mikasa! Oh, yes, we're almost at that part! And Bertolt's like, Reiner, protect us! Oh my God. Oh, damn, man. Oh, okay. All right, I'm sorry. Isayama, I love you. But the anime moment where Mikasa looks in between Reiner's fingers and sees Bertolt, and Bertolt looks back out, that anime moment is so perfection. It's one of my favorite moments in the whole series, honestly, animation-wise. I go back to that moment so often. I'm just like, oh, it's just so good, right? It's so good. I'm gonna have to kill Ymir first. And Historia's like, please don't kill her. Don't kill Ymir. And Mikasa's like, then get her to let him go. Mikasa's like, what will she do? I'll kill anyone who gets in my way. Choose. And she's like, wait. Bertolt and Reiner will kill Ymir too if she doesn't do what they say. She doesn't have a choice. And that's the thing that makes her and Eren so similar, is Mikasa saying there are only so many lives I can value. That's Eren's whole deal. I'm like, that's Eren's deal later on where he's like, I picked my table of people and none of y'all else matter. Of course, Mikasa, I feel like she says, I decided who those people were 6 years ago, so don't try to ask for my pity. I don't have time to spare or room in my heart. And Mikasa's so intense and insane in this moment. But what I think happens is that when they find out about the basement and the overall everything that happens, I feel like Mikasa makes a decision where, yeah, she still values just those people. So she has no qualms. Like everybody, there's a lot of people in the anime that were complaining when she was killing the Jaegerists in the one episode. They're like, she's a murderer, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're supporting Eren, who is doing the same, but okay. But I feel like in that moment, Mikasa is saying, like, I want to save the world. Y'all are in my way. So yeah, I had to attack you. That's just how things are. I feel like she's very much like Eren in that regard. But she realizes, like, destroying the world is not the way to go about this. It's not, the rumbling is not the answer. And I feel like when she confronts Eren at Marley back before they go back to Parody, and she's like, there were women and children here that you killed. They weren't an army. They were just civilians. Do you realize what you've done? Like, this is going too far, right? You're killing people that didn't do anything wrong. Like, she's basically saying, like, we're becoming what we were fighting to begin with. And that is problematic. So I love the comparisons. They're great. Krista, are you, Aaron, or Ymir, are you guys going to get in my way? Which one of you is going to get in my way? And then Historia's like, stop, Ymir, you'll die, don't move. And then Mikasa's just like a war machine. She's crazy. And then meanwhile, Aaron is like trying to squish Bertolt. Oh my god, he's loud and hopeless. I know, I hate that about him too. Oh my god, and they're all getting there. Oh, Jean, but we can deal with him together. Just come out of there. And then Mikasa's like, Bertolt, give him back. Why were you deceiving us? How could you? I like that Armin doesn't say anything. That's interesting. And they're all surrounding him. Bertolt, you made bad sleeping posture into an art form. I can't believe you could sleep at all right next to the victims of your crimes. Was it all a lie? Yep. Was that all a lie? What were you thinking all that time? Oh my god, this is why I love Charge. This moment right here where Mikasa's just like, just kill them all! I'm like, okay, Murder Child 2.0, sit back. If you hesitate for a moment, we'll never get Aaron back. They're a threat to humanity. That's all. And that line gets Bertolt, because that's all they've been told at Marley, is the Titans have always been a threat to humanity. That's the Eldians, the Titans, that's all Bertolt's grown up knowing, is that they're just being used by the victors of a previous war, and that all they're thought of are subclass humans, if they're even thought that, and just weapons to be used. And he's like, we are humanity. I think that's Bertolt's breaking point, is he's like, you're telling us we're a threat to humanity and that's all there are, but he's like, we are humanity. Like, what? I love this part where him just breaking down, do you think anyone wants to kill people? God, that's so good. That whole page is so damn good. And with Reiner like doing this throughout the whole thing, what kind of person would do this for fun? Who would want to do this? With what we did, of course you despise us and want to kill us. We can never take back any of it. But we couldn't come to terms with our sins when we were pretending to be soldiers. It was a little bit easier. It's not a lie, Connie or Jean. It's true we deceived you, but it wasn't all lies. We did think of you as friends. We don't have the right to apologize, but someone find us. Oh. And Ymir being like, she knows exactly what that is. And the thing that gets you is Ymir did find someone. She found Historia, who was able to look past her sins, to look past her crimes, and to love her regardless, and to see the better in her. She did find someone. And Bertolt was just wanting that same thing. Oh my god, that whole speech by Bertolt, and then the speech he gives later to Armin, Bertolt had some really good moments. And that's when Mika says, like, give Aaron back. He's like, someone has to do this. Someone has to get blood on their hands. And that, oh man, and the fact that it's Aaron and Armin, that is transposed over. And that's gonna impact Armin way later on, right? I mean, Aaron was always willing to put blood on his hands for his agenda. Like that's been the case since volume 2, right? When he was saving Mikasa. That's been the case forever with Aaron. He's never been afraid to do what needed to be done for his own agenda. But Armin, that whole thing, someone has to get blood on their hands. That's going to come back in Pride. That's going to come back when Armin's like, somebody's got to attack the Aegis. It's going to have to be us. To get what we have to do, someone has to do it. Oh my god. And then I love that honestly, like, get out of there. And then that's when Erwin has the Titans coming that way. Look at how badass Erwin looks. Look at him. He's just like going like, I don't care, bitches. Like, oh man, Erwin, charge. All right. and everyone jump off. Oh my God, what a double spread. What a double spread. Erwin! Ah! Yes, please. I think some of these Titans just like, just looking off. Oh my God. Get away from the Titans. Crazy. And then Reiner, God, yes, him charging into them. Yes. Oh my God. The little chubby Titan, like the Danny DeVito of Titans there. Oh my God. Amazing. Amazing. And poor Astoria. Astoria is like on the outside, right? You know, at least Bertolt and Eren are inside Reiner's hands, but Historia's like on the outside. No. Oh. And her getting out of there. Oh my God. Yes. We're just getting started. Like Pink is playing in the background and Erwin's like, we can just get this party started. This moment will decide the fate of humanity. If we lose Eren, humans will never inhabit this land. Well, no, they won't. Dedicate your hearts. Oh my God. I like the Erwin just like on horseback doing the pose. Good God, they're all completely insane. Yes. Yes. Yep. Oh my gosh. I like the Eren's like, what's going on? What's happening? If I can't get these Titans off of me, we're almost there. I just love how Reiner looks so much like Iron Man in a lot of these shots. It's great. Now's our chance to slip through. Oh my God, what a shot. What a shot. Oh no, and that's when Erwin got taken back. Shit, yes. That moment was just like, oh my God, Erwin getting attacked by the abnormal Titan. Oh, advance, keep going. Eren's right there. Oh, Erwin losing his arm. Oh my God. That shot of Erwin though. You know what just dawned on me? Levi's not there at all. Levi and Hanji are not there. Not yet. Wait, no. Levi comes though, right? Right? Is that right? I feel like that's right. No, doesn't he? I was like, they're not here to see this whole thing. Oh my God. That's just the carnage of it all. The carnage. The carnage. Isayama. What are we doing? Oh my God, Mikasa. Shit. Wait, doesn't Levi show up? Isn't that a thing? I feel like I need to be remembering this. Oh, Jean. I love that Jean tries to save Mikasa, because it's not just that Jean likes Mikasa, because he does, and that's symbolic in its own right, but then he goes to save her. Oh. We're taking Eren and going back home. And all Eren can think about is that at this rate, everyone's going to die because I got captured. Like that is so telling that Eren is like, this whole time. Again, we back up the idea. I feel like going back through all of this and re-seeing everything and retreading the steps, the fact that Eren goes off and works on his own in season 4 is so emblematic of the fact that here he's seeing time and time again when others have gotten involved, people he cares about die, and Eren believes it's because it's his fault he couldn't act on his own. Right? And then Armin says, what else do I need to throw away? What else do I have to leave behind before I can change? Oh, that look. Oh, what else? And Armin's like, in Armin's own way, he becomes a demon, right? To manipulate people. He's like, I wouldn't say it's Armin throwing away his humanity, because it is very human to manipulate, right? Very human. He's like, are you going to go home and leave your friend behind? You're leaving behind Annie. Annie's deep underground in the Utopia district in the far north, and they're torturing her. Oh my God. They won't let her rest. They're inflicting pain on her every way they know how. Children of the devil. Oh my God. Yes. kill every last one of you. Which is, you know, children of the devil, like just... That's the thing. That's the Marley coming out, right? Because the Marleyan ideal that's been imprinted on them is that the people of parody are spawns of the devil, and the Eldians in Marley have tried to distinguish themselves from those of parody. So when he says children of the devil, he's just saying what has been told to him about parody all this time. And Armin saying that they're torturing her is exactly what he's been afraid of and has been hoping was not the case by being with Jean and Connie and the others. He's like, well, you guys aren't exactly like the stories that we've heard, so maybe those stories aren't true. But by Armin saying that, it reaffirms what he's been believing, right? And that's when Erwin comes up. Oh my God, just everything. Like at this point, Isayama knows what he's doing. He knows what he's setting up, and we as the audience can just blissfully kind of go, oh, well, that's an interesting line. Why would he say that? And then it'll all come back full circle. Like, Isayama was just like, how much rereadability am I going to give this manga? Yes. Erwin, God, how he had time to tie off his arm? How? Like, tourniquets are not easy as you think, right? I'm just like, what the heck? And then Mikasa grabbing Eren. Damn. All units retreat. And then Bertolt just hanging there. Bertolt just hanging there. And then Historia's first kill was to save Ymir. Oh. It's like, oh my God. She's like, leave me alone. Ymir said if I didn't go with her, Reiner and Bertolt are going to kill her. We meant to go with them. Yeah. Oh. Yep. She tried to save you. And then, yeah, Connie's like, protecting you is the only thing Ymir works hard at. Like, that's literally it. I don't know how Ymir's going to find herself killed, but you two need to calm down. The one moment where Connie is decently calm in all of this. Yep. And then that's when, oh my God. Yeah, Reiner just throwing Titans at them. Oh my God, yes. Oh, and then, Mikasa getting thrown, and Eren getting thrown off their horse. And there's Dinah. Oh my God. Going towards him because she senses Grisha. Oh my God, she's been there the whole time. The whole time. Scream. Ah! Okay. It's so fun because you see just how much Eren looks like Carla there, right? Like, look at those eyes. Look at that face. Like, that face, he literally looks like his mother. Yep, Mikasa had to save you once again. Those dumb jerks were looking down on me. Yeah, Eren doesn't like people looking down on him at all. You need to think past just charging into a fight. Protect Mikasa for a change. Yeah, and it's that Titan. Yep. The Grisha's genetics are not that strong because both Eren and Zeke look very much like their mothers. Oh my God. Oh, and then Hannes. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this in the manga. I don't. Oh, because to go back to the beginning, this was the Titan that Hannes was afraid to fight, and so he ran away. And this is the one time he didn't run. Oh, damn it. I'll butcher this thing and avenge your mother's death. Oh, Mr. Hannes, I've got to be the one to settle it. Untie my arms, and she goes to do it. And that's the case in point is getting revenge is not always a good idea because it usually ends up being your downfall. And then, oh my God, this one Titan looks so confused. Look at this one attacking Jean and Armin. It looks so confused. What the hell? It almost looks like Mike a little bit, which is kind of creepy because we know Mike's dead. And then, Armin like trying to talk to Reiner being like, do you not care if Eren gets eaten or not? This is, and Ymir saying, this is your fault. My plans were ruined because of you. Mm-hmm. But she gets away the Titan that was chasing after her. I really thought at the time that Ymir was going after Erwin because she was mad that all this was thrown off because of him. But in the end, Erwin is the chance for Krista to be saved at this point. So she's like, she's just going to go with whatever side is going to keep Krista safe. Yep. She's like, can I get out of this place by cooperating with them? That's all she's thinking about. The world inside the walls will become a living hell. I don't think I can protect her with my strength alone. And he's like, no, Connie, my name's Historia. Oh, why are you doing this for me to protect me again? Ymir, it's like you told me. We need to stop living from others. Let's just live for ourselves. She's like, when I'm with you, I don't feel scared no matter where I am. Oh, damn it. Meanwhile, Erwin's saying, I'm replaceable. Get Aaron out of here as fast as you can. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, them all getting picked off. Oh, that look of Erwin with the hair falling down in his face. Oh, the armor titan is coming. Oh my God. Jean. And then they just cut to Hannes dying. Oh my God. Man, the anime built that shit up, making it being like all dramatic as hell. But Isayama is not about dramatism. Isayama is about subtlety and shock and awe. And it's just like, oh my God, no. Oh, Hannes. And he looked down at Aaron while his guts were spilling out. What? Oh, and Aaron just like scream, laugh, crying. Oh. Not one thing has changed. I'm completely useless. I'm still a boy who can't do anything. And Mikasa saying that's not true. I love there's just nothing there. Oh my God, and there's Armin like trying to protect Jean. There's something I want to say. And then Armin, oh my God, the shot going from Armin to Aaron. Oh. Thank you for being with me. For teaching me how to live. Thank you. Oh my God, this moment between the two of them. Yeah. And she's so pretty there. For wrapping this scarf around me. And yeah, she went to kiss him. And he was like, we're not dying here. Yep. Oh, that look. I like Aaron's like, I ain't got time for romance. And the thing, he's like, I'll wrap you up in it again. I do love that moment because there is the sappy romantic in me that was like, oh, she was going to kiss him. And he like, you know, it's funny because he just like turns away from her. But then like the realistic part of it is it's like, it's not that he's turning away from the kiss. It's just like the kiss almost feels like giving up and that it's the end and that they were going to die. Like she was saying like, this is our last moment. So might as well kiss since it's the last time we'll see together. And he's like, no, this is not going to be the last time we see each other. This is not going to be it. In him saying, I wrapped you up in this scarf to give you a new home. I'll do it all over again. Like, I'm not giving up. I love that. Again and again, forever. It's so bittersweet because I love this moment where Aaron is like, I will protect you as much and as long as I can possibly do so. And it's the impetus for everything he does from here on out, wanting to protect her. Like, because he loves her. But he doesn't feel like she should be able to love him because he's such an awful person in his mind, right? We'll talk about all this when we get to season 4 and all that jazz. And Zeke's just sitting there like, really? But what's so bittersweet about it is like, he says he's going to protect her again and again and again and forever. But then the scarf, he tells the one girl to dump the scarf and get rid of it. And I'm almost like, did you forget what that scarf represented to her? And then when he talks down to her to try to get her away from him, it's like, Aaron, what are you doing? Why are you saying these awful things to someone you love? And I'm like, do you not realize that everything you're doing in season 4 is going to make her come after you and put herself in danger, which is what you don't want? I'm like, Aaron! What a double spread, right? And then he screams. Oh my God, that panel. The scream that stops and he touches the royal family member. And that's what does it. Oh my God. And then everything flashes. Yes! Yes! Oh my God. And at that moment, you're like, well, what is this crackling? What is this business? What is happening? But it's that connection of the founder, the blood of the founder with someone that's the coordinate. Mm-hmm. And then they kill Dinah. Damn. Yep. Why are they eating it? So that's how it is. No wonder Reiner and Bertolt were so desperate to get Aaron. In that case, the walls still have a future. And that's what changes her mind, where she's like, oh shit, wait, as long as Aaron's here, as long as he's not with Reiner and Bertolt, they have a chance to survive. That's what it is. Yep. Mm-hmm. This can't get worse. Of all people, he's the worst person to possess the coordinate. Yes! Of all people! Yep, we have to get it back. The last person in the world who should have it is Aaron. Yes, the last person who should have it is Aaron. For the sake of the rest of the world. For parity's sake, he's the best shot they have. But for the rest of the world, I'll kill all of you. Oh my God. God, the way Isayama draws him, where he's got Mikasa like on his back. Oh my God. Aaron's ability, like the Aaron just screaming, I'll kill you all. Like, this is the thing. This is the most emotive that Aaron has gotten. And I'm kind of torn, right? Because there's a part of me that does not like Aaron in season 4, part 1 and part 2, because he's so like, because he's so just like down, right? There's a part of me that doesn't like Aaron because he just doesn't emote and he's just very, very like despairing. And I'm just like, Aaron, you don't want to see Aaron like that, right? You get why he's like that, but you don't want to see him like that. But there's a part here where I love Aaron being so raw and emotional and just saying his piece and being himself and being so emotional. There's a part of me that loves that. And I love Aaron in season 3. I think season 3 Aaron is maybe my favorite Aaron. Up until the basement. I feel like season 3, part 1 Aaron leading into the basement is like my favorite Aaron because he comes like full circle, right? He like fully becomes fleshed out. And then once the basement and all the trauma happens, then it's just like, it just all gets ruined. But I feel like from this moment on, I really loved Aaron. Like at this point where Aaron is like being in his own element, taking control of the situation, and just laying it all out there. I love that Aaron, that part about him. And then they retreat. And I love Mikasa, like, with Aaron, like, riding off. And then Ymir goes back. And I like Kai's like, hey, ugly! Why? Sorry. This is like the cruelest thing, right? The cruelest thing is that Ymir, I feel like Ymir knows. She knows there's a chance for a story to be safe now that Aaron's back there. But if she goes back with them, what is going to happen? Because the thing of it is, Ymir's done enough that, yeah, Historia is going to forgive her. The 104 cadets, they're going to forgive her. Is Parity going to forgive her? No. No. I think Ymir knows the writing on the wall, that she's like, I have to take care of myself, and I know that if I go back with you all, I'm going to be probably tortured, probably going to try to get information out of me that I don't have. She's like, I've already been down that road once before, don't feel like going on it again. So there's a part of it, like, for her own self-preservation, she's like, I've got to go with Reiner and Bertolt. Even though she knows Reiner and Bertolt, they're just going to kill her. Like, that's just going to be it. Done. But she knows if she goes back to Parody, it's more of a liability, and it could be more of a liability for Historia. So she's like, this is my way to save you and know that you will be safe. And to maybe, if I help Reiner and Bertolt, there's a chance for both of us, right? We didn't know what Ymir's actions meant. But after that, the armored titan stopped chasing after us. And, oh God, Eren. Eren just looking like up into the sky, like heartbroken, and seeing Hannes. Damn. Well, Maria, and there's the hole, the infamous hole that started it all, right? Oh, why'd I come back? She's like, I'm an idiot coming back with you all. I'm here so you'll have something to hand over. You guys can't go home empty-handed, right? There's no hope of you being rescued if we go home from here. Reiner gave her the chance to run. Oh my God, yeah. Because I get, it makes sense. Ymir's like, I know going back with them to Cena is not going to be good for me. They're probably going to torture me, or I'll end up like Annie stuck in a basement, you know, with the other Titan relics. And so she's like, that won't work. And she's like, I know Historia has a chance to be safe as long as Eren's with them. So there's that. But she went back to give Reiner and Bertolt something. Bertolt just looks in a constant state of pain. Like, Bertolt's in a constant state of depression from this point on. But Reiner gave her a chance to leave. He told her she could go. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm done. And then Bertolt said, why did you rescue me? Because I heard your voice. If you hadn't come to destroy the wall, I would have been stuck in an endless nightmare. All I did was repay a debt. Huh. I'm the only one who knows about your situation too. I'm the same way. I was hopeless on my own. And Bertolt about to cry, like Bertolt realizing just how she connected with him. It's fine. Being a goddess doesn't feel so bad either. Oh, and that, yeah, so man, what a line to end that volume on, because yeah, we don't get her backstory yet. What? Holy shit, what? You serious, y'all? You serious? My name's Historia. Eren, let's hurry and go to the other side of the wall. Oh, Krista Lim's real name, Historia Reese. The person who holds in her hands the key to the world's greatest mystery. Oh, and that preview, look at that. You can tell that's Levi standing right there with that little face, maybe. Is it Levi or Erwin? Oh my God, that's it. Holy shit. Ah. Oh, y'all. Oh, y'all. I'm amazed we don't get Ymir's backstory at this point, and that goddess line is such a great line to end the volume on, because it makes you go, wait, goddess? What's happening? What's going on? What's going on? They've only referred to Historia as a goddess. What is this? Which is funny because descendant of Ymir. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. I'm super curious now. I've been told, and I don't want any more spoilers or any hints or clues, I've been told that season 3's contents are very different in the manga. So I'm wondering if this is one of those things that Ymir's backstory is going to get revealed later on from here on in. Interesting. But I'm kind of torn, because on the one hand, the manga makes it much more fluid, right? The manga, it's just like things are happening in a much more fluid fashion. by having us not know Ymir's backstory yet. But in the episode for children, I thought it was very well placed. I thought that if you were going to insert Ymir's backstory, the moment where Aaron starts to pass out and it goes to her and Bertolt talking, that's the perfect place to insert it. And it's a great place to insert like 10 minutes worth of content animated and then have the end of the episode being Erwin coming to get them and then have Charge happen right after that. That makes so much sense. That is a great... I feel like the anime chose to put it in a very good place. And if we do get that information about Ymir later on in the volumes for season 3's content, I feel like the anime may have made a very smart decision by putting it in season 2. By having it as a prefaced here, right? Because we've just got Ilse's notebook and then Ymir's introduction and all that. It makes sense to have all of that around this time. It really does. I fully understand that. That makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good points. Good points. But man, Hannes' death. The manga just like, boom, it's there. It's done. It's so quick. And you're just like... And then Aaron, I will give the anime this, right? The manga I love because Isayama does not over dramatize. It's there. It happens. We have to deal with it. You can focus on it if you want to on the pages. You can lament all you want, but then we move on. Like Isayama's just like, that's just how the story works. But I do appreciate the anime making it very cinematic. Like it's such a cinematic moment. His death is so heartbreaking. And the anime, I feel like the anime makes it so much more like, it puts the cherry on top of the cake for the manga readers. Because the manga readers are like, oh my god, this moment, it was like this, oh my god. And then the anime is like, okay, manga readers, we hear you. We know this is a very tragic moment and this is how the fandom feels about it. Now let's celebrate that moment and all of its despair and sorrow and tragedy and make it as epic as possible. Like, I really am pleased with how the anime adapted these chapters for episodes 11 and 12. I'm really, really pleased with how they did it. I think the manga's great, but I think the anime really stepped up its game. It's kind of the opposite of season 1, right? Because when we were talking back, 4 volumes ago, with volumes 7 and 8, I felt like the anime over shonenized season 1's last 2 episodes, whereas the manga I felt was much better. But here, I'll be honest, I really like the manga and what it does for the end of season 2, but I feel like season 2, it kind of did a reversal. It really, like, overemphasized and, like, made the importance of the events of the end of season 2 so much bigger in the anime. In a good way, right? And in season 1, it was done in a way that you're kind of like, I like the manga better. But here it was done in a way where I was like, oh no, the anime did it right. Anime did it right. I'm very pleased with that. So yeah, we've talked about it before in the reactions, but season 2 is so underrated for me. And now that I've read the manga, it just gives further example of how every season, every chapter, every episode of Attack on Titan is so well done, right? And just making you think more about Eren, about his decisions, about his character. I feel for Eren at this point. I do. I feel for him because he's such a tragic character. I've always thought Eren was like a Shakespearean tragic character because he starts out as a very relatable character. And as you go through, it's just like, oh my god, Eren, you're just getting put more and more through And the thing about it is, most of it is Eren putting himself through the ringer. Eren is blaming himself, like saying that he's guilty, that he's responsible. And it's like, Eren, like the other characters we see kind of pull themselves out of that rut and pick themselves up and feel better about themselves. Eren is not one of those people. No, Eren does not feel better about himself as the series goes on. It gets progressively worse in how he feels about himself. So it's like, oh my god. Just floored. Just floored, y'all. Just floored. It's something, right? It's something. So I'm very excited for volume 13. Because now we're getting into kind of, I feel like I'm about to tip my toes into some uncharted territory to see how they handle volume 13 and how, season 3 part 1, starts out with the epic animation of Levi and the introduction of Kenny. But I feel like this volume, season 2 ended with a little bit more preview into season 3's content, and here we just stopped. Like, them just got right off the bat, and we just ended with Ymir and them. So now I'm very curious. I feel like there's going to be a big distinction with how the manga handles the content of season 3 part 1. I'm so intrigued and curious. So from here on in, we're entering no man's land. Who knows what we're going to find out, but I really loved this volume. This volume went by so quickly, it feels like, but I know I spent like nearly an hour on it reading it. So excited, y'all, and I hope you all are too, but I can't wait to dive in next week and see what's going to happen in volume 13. I hope you all are ready, because I am. So in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back very soon with more Attack on Titan. Bye!